So, our army failed to secure the Grand Norzelian mines.
You're gonna say this is all according to your plan, even though it very much wasn't. Nothing is going your way.
It would seem House Wolfort interfered.
You have every disadvantage right now. How are you gonna try to pull this back?
Glenbrook forces already surround the area, so retaking the mines is likely out of the question.
They must have discovered the salt crystals. Damn them. Gather our soldiers, and be quick about it.
Aye, Your Grace.
I see you finally decided to answer my summons, Svarog.
Oh, this will be interesting.
I shan't use laboring in secret to complete the death's knell as an excuse. Punish me as you see fit. If you think you can, that is.
I ought to wipe that impertinent smile off your face.
I saw what they brought in from the Grand Norzelian mines.
So you know of the salt crystals?
Enough secrets, Gustadolf. Tell me what you are planning.
To use those salt crystals to put the final nail in Hyzan's coffin.
I mean, we're gonna do that too.
To free the people of Norzelia from their tyranny by ending their monopoly over salt.
By which you mean the strong will be free to trample the weak. Is that it?
I will not argue semantics. Though it is at least far more human to struggle for one's own survival, rather than capitulate to the whims of some goddess. People have the right to discover their own strength, and wield it to claim what is rightfully theirs.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't like your execution.
Just as you are contesting me at this very moment, Uncle.
How long have you known of the salt crystal's existence?
He's known about it for a really long time.
I learned of the possibility long ago, when I read of them in an old text from the archives. Ancient knowledge should never be discarded, as you well know, since you had Dragan study there to perfect his explosives.
You are the one who had him killed.
Spare me your unfounded speculation.
It's not really unfounded. He's got plenty of evidence.
I heard all that happened from the Wolforts. They were there when he drew his last breath. Act the fool, and you shall be revealed as one, Gustadolf. Dragan oversaw the mine. It only stands to reason that he would have discovered the salt crystals first. So you, in your greed, had him killed, so that you might claim his discovery for your own. Not only that, but you used his murder as a pretext to invade Glenbrook. Am I wrong?
That's exactly it.
You have an admirable imagination. Admirable, but mistaken.
What did he get wrong? That sounds exactly right.
Your son was quite the ambitious man, you know.
What do you mean?
You know very well what I mean. Indeed, Dragan did discover the salt crystals.
Okay.
Who else do you think told me of their existence?
Right.
Yet he refused to hand them over unless I made him Prime Minister of Esfrost.
I think that's right, if I remember correctly.
And your son's scheming didn't end there. At the same time, he had initiated negotiations with Glenbrook.
Did he?
He offered them salt crystals in exchange for a noble title. He sought to fatherland and foe for all he could get.
I don't think that's true. We didn't know about the salt crystals until just now, basically.
Lies. All of it. How dare you dishonor my son's name?
This man's speaking in half-truths. That's very dangerous.
House Wolfort fed you a fairy tale, and you gobbled it right up because it aligned with what you wanted to believe.
How would you explain how you know about the trading with Glenbrook, though?
Uncle, now is not the time for family squabbles. Glenbrook now knows of the salt crystals. It is but a matter of time until Hyzant learns of them as well. We must make ready to stand against them.
What would you have me do?
The Death's Knell is taking far too long to build. See that it is finished with haste. do that, and I will name you my Prime Minister, so you may fulfill your dearly departed son's dream in his stead.
Very well.
There is no time to waste. War will be upon our doorstep before we know it. A war to end all wars. A war whose victor shall rule Norzelia in her glorious entirety.
Oh no.
Deep in the Grand Norzelian mines lay a most unexpected discovery. Crystals of pure salt. Now in possession of knowledge that could alter the course of history in Norzelia, the members of House Wolford gather at Whiteholm Castle to discuss their next move.
If griefs could passions move, what does that mean?
Unexpected though it may be, the salt crystals are now ours. How shall we proceed?
Carefully, for it has the potential to alter the balance of power across Norzelia. This is an opportunity to reshape the realm to our benefit. We must be strategic.
It's a target on our backs is what it is. There'll be no peace for us so long as we hold them.
That's true.
Hyzant will set upon us with a fury we've never known if they hear of this.
Yeah, we gotta be careful when we tell them.
She's right. They will stop at nothing to defend their faith.
Nor will Esfrost go quietly into the night.
Then let us prepare for when word does spread, rather than fret over how long we can keep the secret. Whether we protect the salt as ours or find another way to use it, we must act soon.
What say you, Your Majesty?
We find ourselves at a crossroads. Not just as a kingdom, but an entire realm. Our decision will touch every life in Norzelia. I too wish to act quickly. But I beg you all for a moment alone with my thoughts.
Your caution is admirable, but ill-advised. Hesitation could cost us everything.
That's true.
That much is obvious. Yet I cannot race headlong into the unknown when so much depends upon us.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Roland. We do need to act quickly, but we can't just act immediately. We gotta put some thought into what we're gonna do.
Benedict, I find myself unmoored as well. I wish to hear from all present before we decide upon a course of action.
As you wish. Pray let it be swift.
Serenoa, answer me this. Can I count on you to walk the path with me? Whatever it may be.
Yeah, definitely. I like it.
I was named Lord of House Wolfort long before I was inducted into the Saintly Seven. And I've been your friend even longer still.
Say no more. Take the others to Castle Wolfort and await my word. Likewise, inform me of any movements from Hyzant.
As you wish. Until we meet again.
Alright, Flanagan. Okay. 3 main story things. That's concerning. I hope I get to see all of them. I hope picking the wrong one. I hope there's not a wrong one
The hour
picked.
has grown quite late.
That was my first scouting excursion in many moons. I'd forgotten how long they can take.
'Tis not often I get the chance to soar over distant lands such as these.
That was a crazy scream. Wow.
Sir Flanagan, over there!
If it's coin you want, it's yours, all of it. Please, just spare our lives.
I will be taking the coin. But I'm afraid nobody would see my face can go on living.
Please, please have mercy.
I shall be your shield, my love. Run while you can.
They need us. Quickly!
I'm with you.
Let them go!
What's this now? It's someone calling the army? Wait. I'd recognize that grubby shield anywhere. You're Sir Flanagan. You're but a lowly coward would turn tail from the duchy. But I bet your shield would fetch good coin at auction.
And you shall have it, on the condition you do not lay a finger on these two.
Wow, okay.
Or better yet, I'll take your shield, your money, and your lives.
He's really willing to just give up the shield.
Kill the lot of them. How'd that coward best us?
Oh, thank you, good sir. Thank you. We are forever in your debt.
I was only doing my duty. Are you hurt?
No. The three of us couldn't be better, sir. All thanks to you.
3?
She's with child, my lord.
Then I am relieved thrice over.
Pray, tell us your name. I would name the child after you, should it be a boy.
This is hardly a deed worthy of...
The man before you was Flanagan, an honorable soldier. Perhaps too much so for his own good.
Flanagan. A fine name indeed.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Sir Flanagan. You truly are the People's Shield.
The People's Shield.
I dare say it's a fitting epithet.
I am hardly worthy of such a lofty title.
If only that were your choice to make. You didn't start calling yourself the Bloody Shield after all. Am I wrong, Sir Flanagan? Or should I say, the People's Shield?
Then I suppose I must endeavor to live up to it. For my sake, and for that of the one who may bear my name.
I like Flanagan. That was a good scene. Alright, now I have to... That was all of them? You only had like 2. Huh. I assume this is like the real main one because it's got the most words up there. Gustav gathers. I hope that if I hope I have to pick all of these, you know? I don't want to miss out on anything. I'm gonna pick this one.
Ah, Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook. Deep within the Grand Nosalian mines lies... It would seem salt crystals were found within.
Impossible!
The discovery of salt outside the source explains Gustadolf's recent provocations.
How can you be so calm? The teachings tell us that salt is a blessing, bestowed only upon the goddess's followers. The discovery of these salt crystals is an existential threat to Hyzant.
Salt crystals are salt too. We need only keep word of this discovery from spreading.
Of course. But how?
The Hierophant has spoken. Minister Exham, you shall raise an army and seize the Grand Nosalian mines in Hyzant's name.
The Hierophant asks us to invade Glenbrook?
Do you have another way to silence King Roland and his royal hounds in House Wolfort?
Minister Serenoa is one of us, and thus is honor bound to heed the Hierophant's word.
Is he now?
But we know not if he will do so, or if he will cast his lot with his precious king.
If that decision's up to me, I'm definitely going to go with Roland. I never liked these guys.
You shall ask him yourself when you surround Castle Wolfort en route to the mine.
I mean, I like Exam. Everyone else is... I don't really care about them too much.
And if he resists?
You are free to deal with him, as we do with all who forsake the goddess.
Interesting, so we're gonna have to fight Exarm then. Pretty soon, too. It's a bit concerning. Who are you?
Have you heard the popular rumor, Lord Claris?
Do we know this guy? I don't think I recognize him.
That Hyzant intends to raise an army against Glenbrook? Yes, I am familiar.
So it's reached the Consortium then. Is it true?
King Roland has only just reclaimed the Crown City with Hyzant's help, not to mention restored relations with them. Ordinarily, such a thing would be unthinkable, but the rumors are so persistent that I think something may be afoot.
For example?
I wouldn't be so restless if I had an example to give.
Esfrost gathers its troops at Twinsgate. Might they have heard the rumors as well?
Perhaps. A battle for the very soul of Norzelia may loom on the horizon. But therein lies the opportunity for merchants like us. You can't wage war without a surfeit of supplies.
You're quite right about that.
And each shift in Norzelia's power balance opens new business opportunities.
Will the Consortium continue trading with Hyzant?
'Tis difficult to say. I believe House Wolfort's actions from here on will be key to the Consortium's decision.
House Wolfort, you say?
Indeed. They've been involved in most every conflict between the three nations on this continent. Why stop now?
That's because we're awesome.
I shall wait and see how Lord Serenoa responds first, lest I make any hasty decisions.
Okay. I think the next conviction scale is going to be the biggest deal yet. Let's see what Gustav's doing. Oh.
I am gladdened to see each and every one of you, my ironclad brothers in arms, here at Twinsgate. I have asked you here to tell you of a most fortuitous discovery. We have found crystals of salt deep in the Grand Norzelian mines. Alas, Glenbrook has taken those very mines from us. What's worse, Glenbrook's esteemed House Wolfort is led by one of the Saintly Seven of Hyzant. They will no doubt be informed of the salt crystals, and their precious religion will be shaken to its core. I trust you can all imagine how Hyzant will respond to such an affront. They will not go quietly, but will instead seek the crystals for themselves, that their reign of terror may continue unimpeded. Therefore, we must subdue Glenbrook and seize the mines for Esfrost if we are to counter this grave threat. But we cannot stop there, for that will only draw Hyzant to our gates. They will stop at nothing to conquer all of Norzelia in their name. The Duchy has never been in a more precarious position. But we will not yield. We subscribe to no faith,
and we bend the knee for no king. We shall greet our enemies at Twins Gate with cold, hard steel.
Gustav is such a good villain, dude. Like, everything he said has been true. Like, I can't disagree with anything he said. He just stated straight facts, and yeah.
Our newest weapon, the Death Knell, is nearly complete. With it, we shall strike back at Hyzant.
He's very good with his words.
The false goddess shall crumble beneath the sheer force of our iron will, and Hyzant reduced to rubble along with her. Raise your swords, my black iron heroes. Your names shall be cast in iron when the histories of this day are written. You shall be known as the defenders of Esfrost. For Esfrost!
Oh yes. The Death Knell will reduce many a falsehood to rubble, dear Gustadolf.
Are you on Gustadolf's sides? I thought you were, but that was a very suspicious wording.
Hyzant has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exham of the Saintly Seven wastes no time in mustering his army, which now marches on the Grand Norzelian mines. Elsewhere, Gustadolf amasses his own forces at Twins Gate in anticipation of the war to come. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
This is not going to be an easy decision. We're getting pincered by both Esfrost and Hyzant. And there's not much I can do about it either. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. We'll see if any new information shows up that'll hopefully make this a bit more clear.
I appreciate you coming all this way, Roland.
I was the one who asked for your time, so it is only natural I make the journey. I wish to tell you that I finally made up my mind.
Have you now?
I would hear your decision if you were willing to share it with me.
I'm very curious.
I've long pondered over the one thing that Norzelia needs most. I thought back on the Salt Iron War. 30 years have passed, yet the root of our conflict remains the same. Each nation still thinks only of itself, wishing to fill its coffers even at the expense of others. But who bears the brunt of such a war?
The people.
Exactly so. The avarice of the ruler is an existential threat to their loyal subjects.
And yet without that wealth, the people suffer just as much. They languish in poverty.
This much is obvious. But there can be no winner without a loser. Remove one and you necessarily remove the other. If we achieve equality, we achieve peace.
And how do you propose we achieve? No. No, surely you don't mean...
I don't follow?
Yes. The goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess. An authority greater than any king.
I don't approve of this.
The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa. The holy state of Hyzant. I have decided that we must give the salt crystals in the Grand Norzelian mines to Hyzant.
What?
And in so doing, you'll give them control of all Norzelia.
Exactly. There will be no more squabbling over salt. Norzelia will know eternal peace at last.
Unequal peace, surely. One built on the backs of a people like the Roselle, if not the Roselle themselves.
Yeah, have you forgotten about them?
I am not blind to that fact. But so few will suffer for the good of so many.
I don't agree with that at all.
Nothing in this world is perfect, Serenoa. The sacrifice of the few for the good of the many. It's the only clear answer, and one I would give every time I were asked.
Submitting to the goddess will rob you of your kingship.
So be it. My crown, my pride. They're but small prices to pay for peace.
You are truly prepared to throw it all away.
Join me, Serenoa. Let us unite Norzelia under the Holy State.
I don't want to do that at all.
Roland, this is quite sudden.
I understand. Pray, take all the time you need. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan, seeing as it forsakes her people.
Yeah?
I am already mourning the rift this may cause between you. But I shall not be swayed. This will be my final act as Glenbrook's king.
King Roland's anguish plays plainly across his face. It pains me to see him so tortured.
I am not surprised. The future of our kingdom, to say nothing of the entire continent, rests upon his shoulders.
Pray tell, what do you intend to do about the salt crystals?
In truth, I cannot decide. Salt is too precious to be hoarded. We've a duty to share it with the people, which is...
Where the difficulty lies, yes. The source makes that all too clear. Salt lies at the heart of every war in Norzelia.
Would that the boundless salted sea of Rosellan legend still existed. We'd have no need of conflict if there were a source of salt for all.
My love, if I may, the discovery of the salt crystals has made two things plain to me. The first is that my mother spoke true in the legend she passed on to me.
And the other is that the goddess's teachings are nothing more than a lie built to constrain your people.
Just so, we are guilty of nothing. Yet the Roselle languish in the source where they are looked down upon and forced to work until they die. Entire generations lost, countless lives given to Hyzant's cruelty. Cruelty created to justify Hyzant's own avarice and lust for power.
Yes, which is why we shouldn't give up everything to them, you know? I'm with Frederica more than I am with Roland.
Such is the ugly lie at the heart of their teachings.
I don't even think their goddess is real.
One revealed by a crystal of the mineral they hold so dear. The time has come, Serenoa. The Roselle must be freed. The salt crystals have brought us to the brink of war. We can harness this unrest, incite the Roselle to rise up and rebel against their captors.
I don't think that would do much.
I am with you. Believe me, I am. But you make it sound so...
Simple. Yes, I know. But the suffering of my people is so distant for everyone else. We can no longer wait for someone to do the right thing. Help isn't coming. Why else would my own mother incite rebellion? We are alone.
That's true, we do need to do it, but...
I swear to you, none of this feels distant to me. The Roselle live in my domain. I am betrothed to you, my dear. It couldn't feel any closer.
And I thank the stars that I have you by my side. I do. In truth, that's why I think this time will be different. Why I'll be able to accomplish what my mother could not.
I agree. But the risk is immense. Suppose we succeed, what then? Hyzant will not let us go quietly.
Of course not.
And when that time comes, you can lead the Roselle to Centralia, just as your mother wrote about in the book she left behind. Beyond the Great Falls and the Falk's domain at the end of the Norzelia River. The ancestral home of the Roselle.
But that's just a legend.
We've already found one legend to be rooted in truth. Perhaps this one is as well. And if not, at least you'll be safe from harm.
Yeah, you'll be far away from Hyzant if nothing else. It's gotta be good enough, at least.
I doubt Benedict will share our feelings, though. Abandoning all we've built to embark on a journey fraught with danger in search of a legend. Yet no matter how perilous the path ahead, I would happily walk it at your side.
I trust you understand what a monumental effect the discovery of these salt crystals will have on Norzelia's history. Whatever course of action we choose will determine whether House Wolffort leaves a legacy in that history, or is expunged from it.
How would you proceed, Benedict?
I would do all I could to keep it from falling into Hyzant's hands. They already control the source. With the crystals in hand, they will solidify their grip on the realm and in time dominate it. The siren song of a false equality under their goddess shall blanket the land, claiming every domain and its people.
Even though they count me among the Saintly Seven?
Even then, for that matters little when the equality they espouse is dictated by the goddess, or should I say, the Hierophant. In the end, they will have the same life and death control over all Norzelia that they now hold over the Roselle.
And our wounds from the battle with Esfrost have only begun to heal. Hyzant will destroy us if we wage war against them in our current state.
Yeah, they've been completely fine this entire time. Like, we've taken down Esfrost a lot. Esfrost has taken us down a lot. Hyzant's been just watching this entire time. They're completely unharmed. If we were equal at the start of the game where everything was fine, then we're at a very big disadvantage now.
But they stand little chance against us if we ally with Esfrost.
Why would we ally with Esfrost?
Ally with Esfrost? Are you of sound mind, Benedict?
Quite. Think about it for a moment.
I mean, I get it. I get it more than going with Hyzant.
Esfrost wants nothing more than to loosen Hyzant's grip. They will go to war if it means control of the salt crystals.
Our interests are broadly aligned, yes, but
Esfrost has been building toward precisely that purpose for some time now.
I do think if we ally with Esfrost and take down Hyzant, that would probably pacify Esfrost a bit. They probably wouldn't try to take down Glenbrook then. Unless they want to just like tie up loose ends or something and take us down. But I'm not sure if they do that. I mean, it's not going to be all hunky-dory between us if we do ally. Even after the fact, if we do win against Hyzant.
You speak of the Death Knell, the weapon that Cordelia mentioned.
Precisely. A weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield to rubble, leaving Hyzant's capital ripe for the taking. Without that weapon, we cannot win.
That's true.
You need only say the word, and I shall convince Esfrost to join our side.
choosing between this or Roland's idea, I like this one a lot more. Like, this one... Like, I do not like Roland's plan in the slightest. But this one actually has some merit to it.
I appreciate your candor, Benedict, and I do not doubt you could secure Esfrost's cooperation. But I fear the harder fight is within our own domain. King Roland's heart will not be easily won.
Yeah. He's not gonna care at all.
I bid you listen closely and calmly to what I'm about to ask.
Oh no, what are you about to say?
From whence this somber tone?
Do you believe King Roland is fit to rule?
To be honest, no.
What are you implying?
Decorum is of little use when the fate of our realm is at stake, Lord Serenoa. Are you content to spend the rest of your life in servitude to another?
Oh, I wouldn't word it like that.
Not another word, Benedict. Roland is more than my king. He is my friend.
It'd be wrong to usurp him.
And you are Lord of House Wolfort, whose military prowess is known to all Norzelia. Not the guard dog of Glenbrook and Hyzant. What else are you here to do, if not to protect your house and keep its banner aloft?
I don't like that.
But you have the potential for so much more. All Norzelia could be yours if you but desired it.
Treason, if not outright regicide. These are your suggestions.
I mean, he never suggested to kill Roland.
Of course not. The blood in your veins and the royal family's ring are claim enough to the throne. There is no need for violence.
I don't think the blood in my veins really means that much if I've lived my entire life so far without it, you know?
I told you not to speak of that again.
I kind of forgot about that too, not gonna lie.
But you did not tell me to forget. The time to reckon with your lineage draws near. You must make a...
I've heard enough. Leave me.
Just know that I will do anything you ask of me, Lord Serenoa.
I get what you're saying, but I don't care for that plan. I like your first plan. I'm not sure if I'm fully on board with it, but I do like it. I don't care for the whole taking down Roland thing, though.
I pray that you make the right choice. Not only for House Wolfort, but for yourself.
Well, that didn't help much. Oh no. I'm gonna have to choose between Roland, Frederica's, or Benedict's plan again, aren't I? Oh, that's scary. I don't know which one I want to pick. I mean, the options basically are ally with Hyzant, which I definitely don't want to do. I don't like them at all. Ally with Esfrost, which I'm kind of on board with, but if that also goes with taking down Roland and usurping him, I don't really like that one either. But then there's Frederica's plan, which is basically ignoring Esfrost and fighting Hyzant, which moralistically, if that's a word, I like that one the most, but strategically, that's kind of the worst option. Like, just making Hyzant really mad at us and then still having both sides trying to take us down. I think none of the three are great decisions. But I think allying with Esfrost might be the best decision. Assuming that that's what we have to choose. We'll see when we select this. I think those are the three options we're gonna have, though. And it's gonna be hard to choose. We'll see. We'll see.